Hey guys, we're coming into the close here at 3:30 p.m. just to follow up on some of our trades and stuff that we're looking at. I don't think I mentioned Fastly, but it was an interesting trade today. Maybe I did mention it. Daily 1 year looks horrible. I think I did mention it. But you're probably due for some type of a bounce along this line here. I mean, 1, 2, 3 touches now. Oversold on the hourly, oversold on the daily. Big gap down. Just nothing but red candles. Really hasn't had an up day in a while. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 trading days. 7 plus the gap down. I mean, if anybody's short, they're probably causing these little intraday pops that you see in the stock, and you can kind of see the wedges. You can see this little bull wedge here, and then it turns into a bear wedge and kind of starts to, actually it was a bear wedge, starts to break down, and then you can kind of see the bounce along here. Then this little tight one in here kind of forms and pops to the upside, and then you have another touch here, and we're kind of touching that now. It'd probably roll over into the close. Maybe it's hard to say whether shorts were covering, creating these moves, or there's some longs in here looking for some fun bargain hunting. Hopefully this thing will replicate in their mind another big move to the upside, which I don't know if that's going to happen or not. Q's another little, pullback and then kind of head fake. We kind of find this little area around the 280 as like an area of energy where when it gets under, it starts to panic. When it gets over, it feels comfortable. So we stayed over for a little period of time, and now it looks like we're trying to grind up towards the top wedge there. And you can see on the intraday 520s, you'll see where we kind of came up with this channel in here. And the channel is created by the pivot breakdown wedge here. Pop, 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 pop. You can see it just keeps hitting. So kind of directionless. If anything, it's it looks a little bearish, but as you get to start getting lower in the channel, in the macro perspective, these little bearish wedges start to build energy for a pop to the upside. So nothing crazy there. We were looking at a couple stocks. I didn't like the way Zedge traded, ZDGE. It was just ugly out of the gate. I had a couple stabs at it, took a couple losses, made one gain, 3 trades, and you can kind of see what I was looking at. Little form breaking shape change here, and then popped up and just had a trailing stop, sold it. I think I got stopped out somewhere on this one here. I don't know, it's just directionless. If we extend this to the right, maybe we'll see that it's kind of straddling that line still into the close. Nothing special. These are 1 minute charts, so you got to give them a little bit of a leeway there. The ones that did work out for us, though, YALA, nice move there. These are Fibonacci numbers, now looking for 917. It was nice to see us hit the 9, pull back, and then regroup again, attack it again, pull back, regroup again, and 3 or 4 times we're attacking it. So eventually the sellers are going to dry up here on this little ascending, 899 to 901. And then you're going to get a push probably into the 917, hopefully, because I got a pretty good sized position in that. The other was MSP, watching the move there, and we said this is going to find a direction. Sure enough, it found a direction. I just bought it right off the bat and put my stop at 27.65. And I think I have 600 shares. I had a 300 share stop. I was willing to hold the other 3 for the low of the 5-day trading session, or 4-day, whenever this one opened a few days ago. And now it looks like we're trying to move to the upper end. So, like I said, when these IPOs come out and guys don't really know direction, and they're holding these things at $12, $13 because they got in the initial public offering, and they start to break down, they don't want to lose all that money. They've doubled their money, and they want to hold that profit. So they sell, you get the big washout, and then the traders that want in it kind of change the balance and push it back to the upside. And that's what we're seeing now, up almost up over 3.5% today, pushing to the top end, which could make for an interesting trade next week. So still holding my position there. We'll see how that comes out. Everything else is kind of directionless. Zoom, which has been super strong, is just really directionless today. I took a couple of trades on this. Actually was kind of preferring to go long, but it was like, I don't know. It was showing me better options, better setups on the short end. I don't know. It doesn't look as good as it used to look. It looks kind of sloppy. And you look at the 1 year daily on this. I mean, we really came in from a nice little area of a breakout. And this is going to be a sloppy look here. Let me see if I can just remove everything here. And we'll clear the drawing set on this one. But I imagine the earnings are going to be pretty good here. But just like CMG, like Chipotle, I mean, I don't know how much more these guys have. Like, W, all these different stocks that have come so far so fast. Are they going to double top here? They don't have that much energy, I don't think, from these levels of overextension to kind of continue these moves higher. They could break and create new 52-week highs, but these are a little bit suspect here for sure. This is the line we had originally for the breakout, and had enough sideways action here with a curl to generate a lot of energy, and the break was beautiful and clean. We hadn't even really replicated the RSI move that we saw when we hit the top. So we thought there was a little bit more room there. And then you can kind of see we started to break down on the RSI here. We broke out on the RSI, and then it started to fade on that trajectory, almost like a double top from a horizontal standpoint on the RSI. And then it just pulls back here, regardless of the market strength. Zoom has been a little bit of a laggard here, unfortunately. Shop, kind of the same thing. If we look at the 1-year daily on Shop, although today we're getting a bounce, we're just oversold. So big move down on Shop. I still think we can get into the bottom end of this channel here in the 960s, maybe even lower. But for now, it's just too much selling too soon, and it needed a bounce. Look at this downward move from 1,111 all the way down to 990. Like I said, 100 point move or so. And then it just needed a bounce. So still well contained inside the prior day's candle. We'll see how that goes out. JNUG, same thing, kind of neutral on the gold stocks too as well. Like I said, there's no real direction here. Even if you look at JNUG intraday, a couple little head fakes, I think, intraday. Let me see what we got here. Yeah, just kind of, I didn't really trade it today, but this little kind of a wedge in here, I guess it kind of broke somewhere in like that, kept pounding through, and then it pushed back up, and then it's slowly gravitating higher. I mean, I probably would have put a trade in here, then maybe stopped it out somewhere under here. I don't know. I didn't trade this at all today. But just kind of sloppy, sloppy action there. And then speaking of CMG, I know this is trending here, but I mean, is this a double top on the 1 year? How much more? I didn't look at the report, but how much more can this thing go? I mean, we channeled in this. You have a blow off. You came back. You fail on the side of the channel. You bounce on the lower end. You pop back up. You hit the upper end. You really touched there yesterday, and I guess the earnings came out today. I don't know. It'll be interesting to watch that one. Snap looks kind of overbought here. Maybe that'd be a good short next week if we get a. This is the kind of stuff I look for if the market gets like a blow off move to the upside on some stimulus news or whatever. I mean, this is like completely irrational moves from $7 up to 43. I mean, they're valuing a company. I don't even think they make money, do they? They're valuing the company at, what's Snap's valuation? Let me see. Snap, it's got to be multi-billions. Probably ridiculous in the billions. Snap valuation is, holy cow. So they have, how many shares outstanding? This isn't right. Can it be right? $26 billion and they don't make a penny. Interesting. That can't be right. Actually, it could be in this market. Now my data's not pulling back up, but I mean, we're getting a little overextended in the RSI here too. I mean, I think, and I'll show you what we looked at. We probably should have gone long on this one. I probably should have put it. When you start getting above 90 on the RSI, I mean, it's just, and this is the reason. Earnings came out, they beat the number, and then you look at the 10-day, 20-minute chart. I don't know, my Snap numbers still aren't pulling up, so those numbers don't go by what I said. But you can kind of see how we had this top on earnings. They popped up 38.70, curled back down. So a big sell-off from 38.70, right? 38.60, 38.70, not a big sell-off, big pullback, decent pullback, not big. Decent pullback, 3 points, whatever. And then goes back up and retests the high, and then recharges with a little bit of a pullback, and then it blows through. So the traders are like, all right, I know where my stop's going to be at, the old prior high or just below there. And then we rocketed it up, so everybody was jumping for joy today in that move there. But, you could have a retrace somewhere. I got to look at the channel in a bigger picture, not on a 5-day. But this one's getting a little bit overextended too, and I don't know whether the valuation is like getting to absurdity levels yet or not. And I don't know whether they did make a profit. I know they beat the earnings number, but this could be an interesting one in the future to short. these things come and go. I mean, Snap was so popular, and then TikTok came along, and it's like, I know Snap's still used with young people, but after a while, the shine wears off, and some of these things can really get smashed if they come out with just the slightest hint of a slowdown in their growth trajectory. So keep an eye on that one as well. I think that's about it, guys. I mean, no interesting IPOs today. MSP looks kind of interesting here, I don't know how strong it's going to close. Zoom's kind of neutral, still getting oversold now, but the market's a little wishy-washy. MRIN was another one, Marin Software. I think there's still speculation out that Amazon might buy them out. So a nice little curl, and then popped the wedge today at 296, ran up to the 450s. Who knows about this one? So keep an eye on that one too next week.